You're in bed. It's 11 at night. You check your portfolio. It's all red. Your stomach drops a little. You start wondering if you messed up. Here's the thing. The richest investor alive didn't get rich by being smarter than everyone else. He got there by stopping something most investors never even think to stop. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. My name is Ricky. I spend way too much time thinking about why smart people still lose money in the market. If you're tired of guessing with your money, hit subscribe and drop a thumbs up if this helps. Let's be real about how most people start investing. You open an app, you put in a few $100. The first week feels exciting. You're checking it 5 times a day. Then the market dips. Just a normal dip. You don't know that yet, so you panic. You sell. You tell yourself you'll buy back in when it calms down, except it never feels calm enough. So you sit in cash, watching the market climb back up without you. Then a friend mentions a stock. It's about to explode, they say. You don't really know what the company does, but everyone's talking about it, so you buy in. 6 months later, it's down 40%. You're holding it out of stubbornness, hoping it bounces back so you can just break even. Sound familiar? Here's what most people don't realize. None of this is bad luck. These are predictable mistakes, the same ones, over and over, made by millions of people every single year. You were just handed an app, told to start investing early. True advice, but incomplete. Most people think investing well means being smart, picking the right stock at the right time. Look, that's not actually it. Here's what most people don't realize. Investing success isn't about being a genius. It's about not being your own worst enemy. Warren Buffett has said this in different ways for decades. The goal isn't to be brilliant. The goal is to avoid being stupid consistently over a long period of time. Because most financial content tells you what to buy. Almost nobody tells you what not to do. That's what we're fixing today. So, let's start with mistake number 1. Mistake number 1, trying to time the market. You wait for the perfect moment to invest. Here's the problem. That moment never feels obvious. Even professionals with research teams can't consistently predict short-term moves, so waiting usually just means missing out. Mistake number 2, following the herd. A stock gets hyped on social media. Everyone's buying, so you buy too. But hype isn't the same as value. By the time something's trending, the easy money is often already gone. Mistake number 3, investing in things you don't understand. Buffett calls this staying inside your circle of competence. If you can't explain how a company makes money in one sentence, that's a red flag. Mistake number 4, ignoring fees. A 1% fee sounds tiny, but over 30 years, it can eat over a quarter of your total returns. Small numbers, compounded over decades, become very large numbers. And it gets worse from here. Mistake number 5, selling out of fear. The market drops, you panic. You sell. But here's the thing. A drop on paper is only a real loss once you sell. Selling locks it in. Mistake number 6, ignoring your safety margin. That means buying something for way less than what it's actually worth. No safety margin means no cushion when things go wrong. Mistake number 7, overtrading. Checking your portfolio constantly, making moves out of boredom. Studies on investor behavior show the more people trade, the worse they tend to perform. Mistake number 8, confusing speculation with investing. Buying a meme stock isn't investing. It's gambling with extra steps. Let that one sit for a second. Because investing means owning something for what it produces over time, not just hoping the price goes up because other people are excited. Let me give you 2 people, Derek and Priya. Derek checks his portfolio during lunch, during dinner, right before bed. He panic sells during every dip. He chases whatever's trending that week. Over 10 years, his account barely grows. Priya does something different. She picks a handful of solid, boring companies. She buys more during dips instead of selling. She checks her account maybe once a month. 10 years later, Priya's portfolio has more than doubled Derek's. Same market, same decade, same starting amount. The only difference? Behavior. Derek wasn't unlucky. He just kept making the same mistakes over and over. Here's a stat that surprises most people. Long-term studies on investor behavior have found something wild. The average investor underperforms the market itself by several percentage points every single year. Not because they pick bad stocks, because of when they buy and sell. Fear makes them sell at the bottom. Greed makes them buy at the top. The market did fine. It was the investors' emotions that cost them money. Because it means the biggest risk to your money isn't a recession. It isn't inflation. It's the decision you make at 11 at night staring at a red portfolio. Mistake number 9, investing with borrowed money. Margin, loans, credit cards. If the market drops, you owe money you don't have. That's not a small risk. That's a portfolio that can get wiped out even if the underlying investment eventually would have recovered, because you got forced to sell before it did. Buffett has avoided heavy leverage his whole career, on purpose. Mistake number 10, lacking patience. Wanting big returns in months, not years. Real wealth building is slow, almost boring. The compounding that actually changes your life happens quietly in year 15, 20, 25, not in month 3. Most people quit long before that point ever arrives. Mistake 11, under-diversifying. One bad bet shouldn't be able to erase years of progress. But if everything is in one place, it can. Mistake 12, ignoring taxes and reinvestment. This one's invisible. You never feel it happening, but over 30 years, it's one of the quietest wealth killers on this list. Here's what all 12 of these come down to. Time is the real engine of wealth, not timing. Time. The investors who win aren't the ones who guess right. They're the ones who stay in the game long enough for compounding to do its work. You don't need to be Warren Buffett. You just need to stop doing the things that quietly destroy returns over time. That's it. That's the whole game. So here's a question for you. Out of everything we covered, which one hit closest to home? Whatever hit closest to home, that's your starting point. Pick one. Work on it this month. That alone puts you ahead of most people. If this opened your eyes to something, subscribe. More of this every week. I'll see you in the next one.